I happened to run into these lovely people from this lovely movie I am going to watch later. And would you like to introduce yourselves?
My name is Jake Conroy, one of the defendants in the case.
I'm Josh Harper, also one of the defendants.
I'm Suchan, one of the directors of the movie.
I'm Mikko Alanne, one of the producers.
I'm Jorja Fox. I'm one of the producers.
Sasha Perry, one of the producers and editors.
Okay, and also filming. Yay. Okay. And so, like, for whoever's a producer here, I would like to ask you what drew you to want to make this movie, because like, things take money, and obviously what inspired all of you to, you included, filming, to want to put money for this cause, because there are actually lots of animal rights documentaries being made.
I mean, I think that this is not just a documentary about animal rights.
Okay.
We think of it really as a story about truth and who gets to define truth and what truth means, because in this case, the defendants were really portrayed in a very negative light by the government. They were not given an opportunity to present their side of the story, and we feel like our film finally gives them a voice and allows the audience to be the jury, and gives them information that the jury at the trial were never given.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the case is very compelling. The story is very compelling. The 6 defendants, who are the protagonists of our film, are incredibly They're incredible, riveting people. This movie is about it's about injustice and cruelty to animals. It's also about the First Amendment. It's about terrorism. What is terrorism? It's about direct action. It's about giving people the tools to make a difference in a climate in America where a lot of those liberties are actually being taken away.
Okay. And I'm going to squeeze over with the director. You're all right. So when she mentions the First Amendment,
Yep.
I have not seen this movie, and they have not seen this movie. So what do you mean by the First Amendment representing animal rights? And I assume that everybody was successfully freed from the science lab, correct?
The animals
Yeah.
were free? No.
They were not?
No. The inciting incident that the defendants organized a campaign around. The defendants, the 6 defendants in this movie, and hundreds of activists all over the world. I mean, this was not just a U.S. campaign. This was a global campaign. Yep.
Okay.
So wherever you are, there were probably activists there working on this issue. So there was undercover footage at this contract animal research organization, Huntingdon Life Sciences, right? This kind of stuff went on then. It goes on now. Animals every day are being used in scientific experimentation.
Hair color, I mean, I've read that, and also
everything from pharmaceuticals to agrochemicals to, of course, cosmetics, all that stuff, to household products. So there was footage that really incited this campaign. But what makes it a free speech movie is that the activists who were ultimately indicted as terrorists for their work on this campaign,
they were locked up as terrorists?
They were locked up as terrorists. None of them actually ever broke any laws. They just talked about people who did break laws, and they organized a free speech protected protest activity here in the United States, the kind of activity that I think we would all agree is part of the foundation of this country. So that's what makes it a free speech.
When you say free speech, do you mean like also that they were talking on social media about it?
Well, this campaign started in 1999. It really grew its legs here in the U.S. in about 2001, right before 9/11. So that's a really interesting time in our country to look at it that way. This is also a moment when the internet was just starting.
Because I was going to say that one of the critiques of this, not of your film, but of social media, is that people can post very offensive material, but some material gets taken down. And I'm not just talking about like any one platform like Instagram or anything. It's just that certain platforms have a tendency to take down things that perhaps investors disagree with.
Right.
So.
Well, I think the film is about, we don't really get into that. We talk about the First Amendment and how, the First Amendment doesn't protect everything. If you're inciting violence, the First Amendment doesn't protect that, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, none of the defendants were inciting violence. So, and I think that the thing when you look at the internet, I mean, that's a big issue.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, there are law courses.
And actually, it's a good thing, I think, when you watch this film to talk about it, because I think when these activists were using the web, it was again in its infancy.
And you have some of your defendants.
I certainly do.
Like I said, I have not seen the movie, so I can't say I liked this or didn't like this or anything. So how have you been dealing with the portrayal here? Like, what do you like about it? I guess I should ask you.
I think that the portrayal of me and my co-defendants is fair and even-handed. I mean, this isn't the film that I would have made, but
Okay.
I did not make this film.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm very happy with how the film treated us. More so, though, I'm happy with how the film treated the animals involved. I'm glad that it treated them with respect and dignity and wanted to show what we had known had been happening to them and finally show some of the undercover footage that we were unable to show to the jury.
Yeah, the undercover footage was an integral part of the campaign. It helped.
And what do we expect to see in it when I watch this movie and other people watch
When
it?
you watch the movie, you're going to love it. It's a great movie.
Okay.
You'll get a lot out of it, including seeing the
Is it
undercover
very
footage.
barbaric with the undercover footage?
I think it's the truth of what happens inside of these places, and I think it's important that people realize that when they buy things in the stores and they, consume things as consumers in the world, that money goes towards things like animal testing.
Okay, and how would you suggest, and I mean this honestly, that we do
Honestly?
things because, realistically and honestly, I'm just speaking for myself here, not
Sure.
as representing any one group. We do need to further science, and we do need to do things to help people and animals.
sure.
Say that your cat gets sick
Okay.
and you go to the vet, you need to have medication for that cat.
Absolutely.
So how do we go about these things without, harming creatures who don't deserve to be tortured?
Absolutely. Well, we live in the 21st century. We have amazing technology, computers, scientists, incredibly smart people, way smarter than I am. And after doing this type of research for over 100 years, I think it's, as a society, we should come together and say, let's start investing money and
things
time
like
and energy
lab-grown
into
meat, which is that's a legitimate thing that people are trying to do is lab-grown meat,
That
where you
is a
do not
legitimate
have
thing
to
people are doing,
incorporate slaughter of animals,
Yeah.
and you can still get
that is
proteins
something
from-
people
yeah,
are
so-
incorporating.
So how would you? I mean, it's just there's no right answer at this point because
Or
we don't know the
I mean,
future.
I'm curious, how are you feeling about these issues personally? Is this something that you're just starting to explore?
Well,
or?
Can I again?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
talk to the camera here,
Totally,
and
yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
I always dreamed of having a makeup line that's for actors.
Yep.
Because I do filmmaking, and I wanted to have a makeup line that does not test on animals and does not have anything negative that things that are sourced that can make people allergic that are from animals.
Right.
So something that is sourced from an animal sometimes can make people itch.
To be able to work with products that don't test on animals or
Yeah.
are animal derivatives.
And also,
you mean?
it's good quality that actors can use, or models, or even at every stage.
Yeah.
People who haven't made it yet, that
Yep.
they can use models.
Well, there definitely are lines out there, right?
Yeah,
That are
but
available.
they're not good. They're not always good. That's
Right.
the problem. Or they're geared towards another audience, or they're not as glamorous. And I want people to think, or affordable sometimes. And
Well, I guess so it's a big question, right? Because
yeah,
I guess the
I want
question,
teenage boys and girls to be able to buy my stuff when I'm an important movie
and
director.
you want it to be cruelty free.
Yes.
So
And-
I mean, I
yeah.
think the question that we all have to ask ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
we all have to ask ourselves, right, is when
And
it
also,
comes
I'm gonna
when
be-
it comes to what we
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
want, right? And this is something I think about every day, and I am totally imperfect in so many ways, but if it causes another creature,
Mm-hmm.
human or non-human, to suffer for what I want, then is that thing worth it? And I say human or non-human because depending
people
on where
put
you
crushed insects in eyeshadow. That's a fact. I don't use eyeshadow. Besides the fact it's just disgusting. From a standpoint, or even things
they're
yeah.
starting the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
starting the movie because it's short. But
Okay.
final words you want to
All
say?
right. Go see the movie.
Go see the movie.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, and
I'll
good luck. Yeah, we'll talk
thank
more.
you so much.
Okay.